El Paso, live from LAT Studios here in East El Paso. Welcome to PREP1 Media Day Part 2. With the success of last month's event at the Coliseum, we couldn't leave these guys behind. With us, we have the 168 Eastlake Falcons. Welcome, ladies. So we're going to have you guys introduce yourselves for our viewers at home. Go ahead.
I'm Kayla Quintana, and I'm a senior at Eastlake High School.
I'm Cameron Morales, and I am a senior as well.
My name is Ana Elena Ramirez, and I am a senior at Eastlake High School.
I'm Paulina Gallegos, and I'm a senior at Eastlake High School.
I'm Sarah Chavez, and I'm a senior at Eastlake High School.
So welcome, ladies. It's been a long year. Finally, we're back. We're back in our gymnasiums, how it's supposed to be, right? Playing in front of our fans, in front of our community, right? With a crazy student section that you guys have out there at Eastlake. And tell me, what's the difference from last year to this year? Because every year it seems like 1-6A is always very competitive. It's always like the last 2 weeks of the season decides who the district champion or the runners-up are. So what's the difference from last year to this year? How is this team? What can we expect from the Eastlake Falcons going into this year? Anybody?
I think it's more meaningful, especially because our parents and friends get to come watch. And it's not like last year where it was just like by ourselves.
Yes, we definitely get to have a student section, which is awesome. We love the support. And this year we do have some younger talent in our team, which I think is awesome. And our chemistry is definitely there.
We are going to work extremely hard. I feel like we worked hard last year, but since this year we got to see everybody and COVID did have a very impactful effect on us, it's just an amazing experience.
Okay. Anything?
I think we all are really prepared this year, and we do have a lot of young people in our team this year, but we're all really close and we're all really connected, so I think we're going to have a good season.
I think that we're ready for this season, especially because of COVID, and now we're more motivated to play.
Yes, and you speak about COVID. You know, last year it seemed like COVID just hit us all in the gut, right? It just splintered all of our hopes, all of our dreams, and we're back to normal a little bit. So my next question is this. How was the buy-in over the off season? Was everybody in the weight room? Was everybody at team meetings? Was everybody at workouts? Was everybody reporting when they had to report to just get better as a team?
Yes, I think over the summer we were definitely ready to go. Our girls were showing out to team workouts. We even did some team bonding, which is great.
Eastlake is very strict about showing up to workouts and about participating.
Yeah.
So I know Coach Farmer was really on us to like keep participating and showing up.
Okay, so comes to my next question, guys. So you guys, the last media day, you guys were out of town. You guys were competing in Dallas. You guys were competing in Lubbock. Tell me a little bit about the difference in the way you guys are competing, grinding it out week in and week out here in West Texas, and then you guys go and travel in East Texas. How was it like going up against those teams out there?
It was definitely really fun. It was just a different effect, I guess, because years previous. So, like our sophomore year, it was kind of expected, but when we got it taken away our junior year, it was just a little bit different. So it was definitely fun to go and compete against other teams and try and be the best.
Fantastic. Anybody else?
I think it was a new experience because we weren't familiar with those teams. Like here in El Paso, we're all familiar with the players, and over there it's a new experience, and we get to see different teams and how they play.
Awesome. All right. Great to hear. So like it seems like every year El Paso gets closer. It used to be Texas, everybody else, and then El Paso all by ourselves, right? Now we're competing against top tier teams here in Texas. Now comes to our next segment. One of my favorites. I always like to talk to athletes and ask them, who is the one person you want to thank for getting you to where you are today? Whether it's academic, athletic, whatever it is. We're going to name one person, and you're going to thank them, and then you're going to look at the camera and let them know why. We'll start with you. Go ahead.
I like to thank all my coaches because even like when I felt like giving up, they've always pushed me to continue.
Okay.
I would like to thank my parents. They're my rocks, and they support me through everything, and they are very hard on me.
I would say my parents as well. They've been out to our out-of-town tournaments, and they're at every home and away game. So I would like to say a big thank you to them.
I want to say thank you to my parents as well for always pushing me and never letting me give up. And they're always there for me, supporting me no matter what.
I want to thank my mom. She's always pushed me to be the best that I can be. She's always made me work extra hard. So Thank you, Mom.
Fantastic. That's awesome to hear. No PREP1? Nobody said PREP1? Kidding. I'm kidding. Well,
Yes,
there
it's
you
okay.
have it, guys. That was the 1-6A Eastlake Falcons, always vying for that district championship. Who knows what's going to happen next couple of weeks is going to determine. It's going to be that separation where when you start playing your rivals and you start playing that district play coming in. All right, guys. So again, thank you again for joining us live from LAT Studios. Guys, say bye to our people at home. Okay, thank you. And we'll catch you at the next segment. Thank you very much. Welcome to another segment of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, live from LAT Studios in East El Paso. So this is PREP1 Media Day, Volleyball Media Day, Part 2. Last month, we had it over at the Paso County Coliseum. These ladies were a little bit busy. They were in San Antonio grinding it out with some of the top teams in Texas. So before we begin with our interviews, let's just introduce each other or introduce ourselves one at a time. Starting with you, Coach.
My name is Coach Candelario Arzola.
Hi, I'm Rayan Lucero, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Annabelle Medina, and I am a senior.
Hi, I'm Haley Vasquez, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Rivas, and I'm a freshman.
So, Socorro, welcome, ladies. Welcome, Coach, to the show. Now, here we go. COVID is still around, a little bit behind us. Last year, they threw us for a loop, right? Punched us in the gut a little bit. We didn't know what was going on. What's the difference from last year's team to this year's team, ladies? Anybody wants to take this?
Well, this year, I believe we have more chemistry. Like, we all get along. And last year, like, we were more separated into our groups. Now we're all together. So I think it helps us play better.
Fantastic. Anybody else?
Yeah, especially because this year we have a lot of young talent, which it would help our team in the future. They'll grow together.
Okay, Coach. During the off season, how was the buy-in, Coach? Like, was everybody at practices? Was everybody at team meetings? Was everybody doing what they had to do during the off season to get to this point where we're at now?
Well, my off season, I got there in July.
Okay.
So it was grind and go. The girls were bought into my program right away.
Fantastic.
I made them believe that, you know what, all the hard work that we put into it is going to pay off when our season starts. And God willing, it has. And they really, really, like I said, believed in what was being brought to them with my program. Yeah.
Okay, Coach, my next question is to you also. Now you guys were in San Antonio. Tell me a little bit. How did the Bulldogs compete with those teams out there?
We actually competed very well. We went undefeated till championship night.
Yeah.
We had a couple of losses, but we really showed up. They believed in the system that we put together and all the hard work in the summer, and it paid off. It showed. We actually came out of San Antonio in fourth, but we came out with a record of 7-2.
Okay. Well, district play is coming up pretty soon. So obviously that grind in San Antonio prepared you guys, because we know 1-6A is a very, very tough district. It always comes down to the last 2-3 weeks of the season to as far as where the seedings are. We don't even know who the district champion is at times. Last year, I believe there was a 1-game playoff to decide that. So it's a very competitive district. So good luck to the Bulldogs. Before we let you go, I want to go into a quick segment where we thank somebody significant in our lives that helped bring you to where you're at today. So we'll start with you, Coach. Anyone you'd like to thank?
Well, I want to thank my wife, first of all, my daughter. They are the rock that keeps me going, and I keep them busy year-round. Right? So how they put up with it, it's beyond me. I also want to thank Coach De Anda, because, I mean, me being with him the last few years, 3 years, I've known him for over 12 years. We've always clicked heads and been able to speak volleyball. So
fantastic.
I come from really learning a lot.
Great. You want to give her the mic real quick? There we go.
I would like to thank my parents for always being there and supporting me at my games and pushing me to do my best all the time.
I would also like to thank my parents. They have always been there for me since the first year I started the club, and they've always pushed me, and they understand. So I would just like to thank them.
I'd also like to thank my parents as well. They've always been my rock. They're there for me through the hardest times, even when things get tough. They're there to push me to keep going.
I'd like to thank my family for pushing and giving me the opportunity to play volleyball. And I would also like to thank my club coaches for everything that they have done for me.
Well, ladies, we wish you the best of luck this season. I know the season's just a few weeks in. District play is about to start. And there you have it, folks. The 1-6A Socorro Bulldogs. We wish them the best of luck and keep up with them because these ladies are here to make noise. Ain't that right, Coach?
Yes, sir. We sure are.
Okay, guys. Thanks again, and we'll get you the next time on Top Dogs. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, CEO and founder of PREP1. We are here live from LAT Studios here in East El Paso. We are here for PREP1 Volleyball Media Day Part 2. The reason that this team behind us, we have the 1-6A Dorado HS with us. They weren't with us last month for the Coliseum event because they were out of town grinding it out against teams from East Texas in Dallas. So welcome, ladies. Welcome, Coach. Thank you for coming. All right, so let's talk a little bit. Okay, so last year was the COVID year. COVID punched us in the gut. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know whether we were going to have a game. We were going to have a full season. We just didn't know what was going to happen. This year, we have the fans back in the stands, the crazy student sections, mom and dad yelling at you, Coach, telling you who you should substitute and how you should run your team, all that fun stuff that goes into play. So what is the difference from last year's team, Coach? Because you guys were runners up in 1-6A, right? So what's the difference, or 1-5A, I'm sorry. 1-5A, correct? 2-5A. Let's do it again, dude. I did 1-6A. Yeah. Hello. Start from the beginning. From the beginning. Did I pretend like I knew what I was doing? Talk about winging it, right? All right, ready? All right. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, CEO and founder of PREP1. Welcome to PREP1 Volleyball Media Day Part 2. The team behind us, the 2-5A District Dorado Aztecs, joining us today. They weren't with us at the Coliseum because they were grinding it out, facing teams in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, folks, thanks for joining us, guys. And let me ask you, let's start off. Well, first off, let's start off with the formalities, Coach. We're going to introduce ourselves. Coach, go ahead.
My name is Coach Roel de Anda.
Hi, my name is Daisy, and I'm a senior.
3, 2, 1, pause.
My name is Brenna Hernandez, and I'm also a senior.
So,
Test. 1, 2, 3. Test.
Everyone good?
Test.
Yeah, don't be shy. So we're gonna go from the top. 2-5A, right, Coach?
I forgot.
Hey, we're 2-5A, right? Hey, so we're gonna go from the top again. Okay. This is the first time we go 3 takes. Everyone's been 1 take, all right? Come on, Aztecs. Come on. All right, ready? Good? All right. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, CEO and founder of PREP1. Today we have our PREP1 Volleyball Media Day Part 2. Last month we had it at the Coliseum. The Dorado Aztecs couldn't join us because they were too busy grinding it out there in East Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for a tournament. So, folks, thank you for joining us today. Before we begin with all the hard questions, let's introduce ourselves briefly.
Hi, my name is Roel de Anda.
Hi, I'm Daisy Barraza, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Savannah Romero, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Brenna Hernandez, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Terrazas, and I'm a senior.
So welcome, Aztecs. So last year, COVID, right? We didn't know what was going to happen. This year, we're back. Fans in the stands, the crazy student sections, people cheering, a lot of noise in the gymnasiums. What does it mean to you coming back from, what's the difference from last year to this year? We'll go ahead and start with you.
So I think the fans take a big role in the whole playing. because last year we had a lot of inexperienced varsity players,
Mhm.
and this year, since the fans are back, like it's kind of hard settling the nerves and playing the sport we know how to play. But I feel like with time given, we're gonna get there.
Fantastic. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Daisy. Like especially having like our COVID year and not having any fans, and all of a sudden having fans again kind of affected us in the way that like you kind of get nervous and I think
Absolutely.
with
Yes.
time it will.
Anybody in the back? Coach, where are we from last year to this year? Now, how was the off season? Did everybody buy into the workouts? Was everybody reporting for team meetings? Well, how was the activity out there at your high school gymnasium?
The girls have been really great. We've had a solid program for the last couple of years, so the girls understand the importance of getting into the gym and working early spring, getting in and doing summer workouts. Volleyball is the only sport in the state of Texas where we get 4 days of workout before we hit the ground running as far as scrimmaging and playing. So they know the importance, and they did a really good job of getting in the gym and working and trying to solidify a new team, because once you graduate your seniors, it's a new ball game. You have a new team, and they've got to kind of find their own identity and their way.
Now, District 25A, you guys are in. It's always tough. It's always a tough district where it's always between 2, 3, 4 teams, but it doesn't get decided till the last couple of weeks of the season. So we're talking about now grinding it out, and God forbid any injuries come about, but you have those things that you guys just battled it out in San Antonio. How was it? How did the Aztecs do faring up against teams from that sector of the state?
So we chose to go to Granbury. The reason we do that is those are teams that we would see in the postseason, and so our goal is to every year make it into the postseason, 1 or 2 seed, whatever the case may be. We ended up 6-3 in Granbury. We saw some really tough teams that once we make it past the by-district round, if we're fortunate to do that, that would be our opponents that we need to see. So the level of volleyball is tremendous. The girls are well coached. They have a lot of size. It's a very physical game. So we need to expose our girls early on in the season so that they are familiar with that. So when we are in the postseason, they don't shy away from that level of competition.
That's great. So, guys, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for joining us here on Top Dogs. And there you have it, guys. The El Dorado Aztecs 25A competitors. They're vying for that district title, and they are a team to be reckoned with. Thank you very much, and join us on the next segment of Top Dogs. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, CEO and founder of PREP1. We are here live from LAT Studios in East El Paso for PREP1 Volleyball Media Day Part 2. Last month at the Coliseum, the team behind me was not able to be at Media Day because they were competing outside of San Antonio. So they were grinding it out with teams out there, and now we have them here. We have a lot of questions, but before we begin, who they are the 1-6A reigning and defending district champions, Franklin Cougars. Thank you for coming on our show. So we're going to start with you, Coach. We're going to introduce ourselves individually, okay?
Sylvia Sandoval.
Isabella Dick.
Madison Blanco.
Paulina Acuna.
Jordan Imperial.
So I'm standing here with the champs. How awesome is that? Now, you guys lost a lot of players from last year's group, right? From last year's squad. A lot of them signed. A lot of them went. Benelli and Molina and a lot of key players that you guys. Now, what's the difference from last year's team to this year's team, Coach? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I was going to say we had a lot of youth on our team, so they got a lot of experience last year during practice and competing against those girls, so they pushed them to compete in practice. So when it was their time to step up, they were able to fill those shoes.
Very well said. Now, COVID happened last year. And you guys know it was a mess, right? We didn't know what was going to happen from 1 week to the next. We had games getting canceled. We didn't know what we were going to do from 1 week to the next. So how was the off season for the Cougars? Was everybody at all the team meetings, Coach? Did everybody buy in to the off season workout regimen? All that stuff that has all the components that have to factor into a successful season. Did everybody buy into that?
For the most part, we had a good core of the kids that were showing up. That was their little outlet to get out of their homes and come compete and be with their friends. And they pushed themselves. It was something that they know they have to come in and grind, work every day. They have expectations they have to meet, and put the tone in practice early, which makes it a huge difference. So they're constantly competing against each other and pushing themselves to the next level.
Awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear. So now's my next question, Coach, or everybody. What's the difference from last year's team to this year's team? We have the band back. We have the student section back. We have all those factors that we didn't have last year. So what does that mean to you? What do you think? How do you feel that the 2021 Cougars are different from last year?
I feel like the fans play a major role in supporting us and they keep us motivated. But I feel like a lot of the stuff has stayed the same. Like our determination has carried on from last year. And a lot of the younger players have set the tone and kept up a lot of the core values that we value in our program.
Awesome. What do you think?
I agree. I think we have a lot of potential on this team, and I think with the fans being back, I think they push us even harder, and they, just keep us motivated to do the best that we can every game.
Awesome.
Also, having our younger teams there to support us helps a lot. They're always cheering us on and keeps the energy up even when we're down in a game.
Great.
I agree with everyone. I think the fans play a major role in how we play, and our teamwork is very good.
So we're talking about earlier on. You guys were in San Antonio. How did the champs fare in San Antonio? What happened out there? What was the result of those tournaments out there?
We actually did very well up in San Antonio. We ended up getting 6, and we had the chance to compete against very, very competitive teams. They have height, strength, and to be able to prove ourselves and represent our school was an honor.
Yeah, and it's always been that it's the rest of Texas and El Paso. So it's awesome to hear when West Texas teams go out there to East Texas, do your thing, and you guys are able to fare well against them. Now, District 1-6A, we all know it's very competitive. Last year there was that 1-game playoff, right, to determine who was the district champ. Nobody knew who was the front runner till the last couple of days of the season. So you guys are in a very competitive district. We're really excited to see you all compete. Before we let you guys go, we want to close out with thanking somebody significant in our lives that brought us to where we are today. And Coach, we'll start with you. It could be a parent. It could be anybody that was significant in your life.
Well, in my life, definitely my parents, and then I had excellent coaches when I was in high school. And then as a coach, as I've gone through my years in getting experience, I've worked with some fabulous coaches like Coach Valdez, Stacy Napkin. Been fortunate to coach other sports, to work with other coaches as well, and kind of steal and borrow from them as well.
Fantastic. How about you?
I'd like to thank my parents. They have made endless sacrifices for me to be in the position I am. It's not always easy being a student athlete, and I feel like they have really helped ease my busy schedule.
How about you?
I want to thank my parents. I play for them, and because of them, I am the player today and continue to progress and get the opportunity to continue to play, so it's all because of them.
To thank my parents because they're always supporting me even at my lowest points, and especially my older brother Zach for always pushing me to be better and reminding me to never give up.
All right, Zach.
I'd also like to thank my parents. They're my #1 fans, my #1 supporters, and so are my siblings.
So there you have it, folks. Ladies, thank you for joining us on this edition of Top Dogs. There you have it from the 1-6A reigning and defending champs, the Franklin Cougars. Thank you for joining us. You guys say bye to the camera and to the next edition of Top Dogs. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, Jesse Tovar, CEO and founder of PREP1. With us, we have the District 158 Andress Eagle. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
So before we begin with all the hard questions, let us introduce each other one at a time.
Hi, I'm Lorena Gonzalez. I've been at Andress for 3 years.
My name is Mariah Lewis. I'm a senior at Andress.
My name is Dijana Gilly, and I'm a senior.
My name is Leslie. I'm a junior.
My name's Aliana Colon, and I'm a senior at Andress.
So, ladies, we're back. The fans are back. The student sections are back. What's the significance to you about this year? What's the difference from last year to this year? I know it was awkward playing in front of nobody, just media, right? All you saw is that one photographer in the stands. However, now we have the fans. We have the student section. We have, everybody yelling, and it's a very loud gymnasium. What is the difference as far as, what is the difference from last year's Andress team to this year's? Anybody wants to take that?
Definitely, I want to say having the stands filled definitely made it like better, more exciting. You have more energy, not only on the court, but it reciprocates from the stands to the bench to the court, and make you feel everybody's like excitement for the game. It makes, I guess, the players like, oh, we have people watching us. It makes it better.
Great.
Definitely.
Anybody else?
I honestly didn't play last year because I was injured, but I can say this year we definitely have more energy because the fans bring the energy towards us. So with the more energy, we get more pumped and we have better plays. So it definitely brings us more excitement.
So, Coach, this question is for you. How was the off-season workouts? How did everybody buy in? Did everybody attend practice when they were supposed to? Did everybody report to team meetings? How was that going into the season?
Honestly, this summer, the ones that wanted to be there made it a point to be there. I think COVID kind of hurt a little bit because it was just easier for parents to keep their kids and buses weren't running, so they had to find their own way. So there was times where it was a little difficult, but I can say that from the years prior to this past summer, this is probably the best numbers that we've had coming to open gym from middle school all the way up to our seniors. So pretty exciting.
That's fantastic to hear. Okay, before we let you go, a very favorite segment of mine is who we want to thank for who was impactful in our lives that got us to where we're at today. Go ahead and we'll start with you.
I want to thank my coach, actually, because I wouldn't be playing right now if it wasn't for her. She got me to like the sport a lot better than I thought I would.
Now, with that,
Thank
Coach, you got to go next. You got to go next, Coach.
I love this group of girls. Like, honestly, I tell them, even our little transfer. But this group of girls have really, I stopped coaching for a long time. And when I started back up, she was one of the girls that I got to kind of coach up to. So this was very important. And that's why I kind of get on them so much, because I really do feel like they deserve so much because they've put in the work, the effort. So this is just, this is kind of just full circle, like for us to kind of know, like, I trust you, they trust me.
Yeah.
We're going to do something.
Fantastic.
That's the goal. That's our goal.
Who'd you like to thank?
I would definitely like to thank my parents, my mom, my dad, my older brothers for just pushing me all the time and making sure that, like, not only that I make myself accountable, make myself go practice, make myself do anything I got to do, and just push myself, make me motivated.
Awesome.
I would like to thank my mom and my siblings. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be where I am right now. She's really pushed me to become the player I am. After every game, even though it's criticism, I know she wants the best for me, so I would thank my mom the most.
All right.
I would like to thank my mom/coach and then my sister for always just pushing me to be like the best me on and off the court.
So there you have it. Ladies, thank you for joining us. Continue having fun at Media Day. And it was a pleasure to have the Andress Eagle. There you have it, the 158 Andress Eagles. Thank you for joining us. You guys say bye to the fans at home. All right. And we'll catch you at the next edition of Top Dogs. We're back. This time we have the reigning and defending 168 district champion Coronado T-Birds. Welcome to the show, everyone. Before we get to all the questions, I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Coach, we'll start with you.
Yes, hi. My name's Raul Lawrence. I've been at Coronado since 2004.
Hi, I'm Caroline Mann, and I'm a junior at Coronado.
Hi, I'm Avery Bloss. I'm a senior at Coronado.
Hi, I'm Sabra Castillo, and I'm a senior at Coronado.
Hi, I'm Allison Miller, and I'm a junior at Coronado.
Hi, I'm Ashley Macias, and I'm a sophomore at Coronado.
Okay, so welcome, everyone. Now the T-Birds, here we go. You guys were recently out of town. Where did you guys play at?
We actually traveled to Mansfield, Byron Nelson, and Arlington.
Coach, real quick, give us a glimpse. What was it like? How did El Paso fare against those other teams in Texas? What was the competition like out there?
Well, the competition in the Metroplex area is always, it's a pretty good level. So, you know, you go out there to learn and gain confidence and you know, play with a little bit of consistency. So that's the challenge for us, is going out there and playing with consistency. So we had some wins and we did have some losses, but at the end of the day, I think we came back as a better team.
Fantastic. And it's always, you know, El Paso, it's like the rest of Texas, right? And little El Paso. It's great when you hear that El Paso teams are now competing with everybody else. We belong at the table, right? So this year, guys, we have the fans back. We have the student sections back, the band or some of the band that actually go out there to the games. What's the difference from last year, preparing to go into the season last year, and this year? What if anybody could chime in on here?
I feel like this year our student section, the Coronado Crazies, is like we all want to win, but it just makes you want to win a little bit more. And last year I feel like we kind of had trouble, you know, getting excited, but it's definitely helped like get more excited for the games.
Wasn't it awkward playing like empty gymnasiums, right? Now let me ask you the next question. The difference from last year's Coronado T-Bird squad to this year's. The next question is for you, Coach. During the summer, how was the buy-in? Was everybody reporting to team meetings? Was everybody reporting to the weight room? What was the work ethic like for your team this summer?
You know what? I think every summer we've developed a tradition to where most of the girls show up and they're working hard during the summer. So as far as being there, working hard, you know, I really don't have a lot of problems with that. Most of the girls are pretty dedicated to the off-season program.
You know, fantastic. You know, it's great to hear. We know that at the 1-6A, District 1-6A, last year we had a one-game playoff, right, to determine who were the district champions. It seems like every year your district is very competitive where we don't know. Everybody starts separating in the last 2 weeks of the season. But right now you're about to start district play. It's going to get very competitive. What's the difference from last year's team to this year's team?
Well, I think the team coming back this year, they're very similar to last year. I think we're pretty competitive. They have the ability to be really good. On the other side, I think the district has become a lot more competitive. So you have the other schools that have actually gotten better, and they are actually competing at a higher level.
Guys, before we let you go, we're gonna finish off with one of my favorite segments. Is who would you like to thank that has impacted your life in a significant way to get you where you are at right now? Okay, so you got to think about it, Coach. We're gonna start with you. It could be a sibling, it could be a spouse, it could be a parent, it could be a coach, it could be a teacher. Someone significant in your life.
Yeah, well, first thing is it has to be my family. Since I started coaching, obviously my kids were very young, and my wife supported me coaching, being away, putting in a lot of hours to get the program going in the right direction. So she definitely supported me. The kids, as they were growing up, they actually supported me, and you know, now I have my daughter playing volleyball at Coronado. So, you know, you can see that dedication and that support from my family up to now.
I'd like to thank my sister because although I don't like to acknowledge her very often, she's the reason I'm here. I'm very thankful for her.
Wow, how about you?
I'd probably say my mom and my dad. They just continue to push me and support me through all of my decisions and all of my sports. So I'm super thankful for them.
There we go.
I'd like to thank my parents as well because they always drop everything they're doing just to make sure I'm okay. Whether it be take me to practice or like wash my dirty clothes and stuff like that.
I'd like to thank my whole family, especially my older brother, because he would also just drop everything to take me to practice when my parents at work. And even though he didn't like waking up early in the morning for summer workouts to take me, he was always there for me and always pushed me to do my best.
I'd like to thank my family and especially my big sister because she's always been my role model and the reason why I play volleyball.
So family, right? Family is a huge component to get you to the success, that level that you're at right now. So with that said, we'd like to thank you guys for coming on the show. Welcome to PREP1 Media Day. You still have a couple of shoots to go to. Have fun with it. And good luck this season. And thank you for coming. Thank you. All right. You guys wave bye to the families out there. All right. Catch us next edition on Top Dogs. So we're back this time with 1-5A Chapin Huskies. Welcome to the show, folks. Now, before we get to the questions, let us introduce ourselves briefly.
Joe Morales.
Aurora Gutierrez Macias.
Brianna Peterson. Jacqueline Mendoza.
All right, well, welcome to the show. So we're back, right? COVID's still around, but it's not like last year, right? Last year, COVID, hit us in the gut. It sucked all of our air out. We didn't know at times who we were going to play, change of scheduling, change of opponents. Now, what's the difference from last year's team to this year's team? What was the difference in preparation going into the season?
I would have to say that the difference from this year from last year is that the team bonding. It's more connected this year. I've been with these girls since middle school. They're very talented, and I'm so glad to have them on this team with me.
Fantastic.
I want to say the effort. We definitely want to work hard this season to make up for everything that we missed.
Okay.
I say the same thing, just the connection and how we're both working together way harder just to be here this season.
Fantastic. Seems like you guys are committed. Coach, this question's for you. How was the buy-in going into the off season? During the summer, was everybody showing up for weights? Was everybody in team meetings? Did everybody do what they had to do in preparation for this season?
Yeah, the buy-in has been there since the beginning. It's been difficult. It's an adjustment from last year when we couldn't see each other. We really didn't have an off season last year. We weren't in the weight room. This year we were back in the gym in the summer. All the girls showed up. We did our workouts, did conditioning. We had open gym. We even had some of our alumni able to show up for open gym. So this off season definitely has been much better than last year.
Great to hear, Coach. I understand you guys were traveling and you guys played in Lubbock recently, in the Lubbock area. Now, here's the thing. It's always been the rest of Texas and little old Paso in the far west, right? How did you all fare at that tournament? How is it that El Paso, it's good to hear that El Paso teams are competing now at these big-time tournaments in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, in the Lubbock area, in the Houston-San Antonio area. How did your team fare against those tough teams out there?
We actually played well. We didn't fare as well as we wanted to, but we competed. This is a young group. We did lose 8 seniors from last year, so it's taking us a while to kind of build that chemistry on the actual court. The girls competed well, but it is great to see. El Paso has competed in Dallas and New Braunfels, all these places. So El Paso volleyball is really competing at the state level.
You see a lot of clubs, they're coming out all over the city, and it's great to see our athletes competing, like you said, at that state level. Now, District 15A, very tough district. Any predictions, you guys? How do you guys think? Anything you guys want to, looking into the season, going into district play? I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but how is it that, what are you guys going to do to bring it together and hopefully get that district championship?
I believe that, our hard work and dedication, we fight hard till the end. Every point, we try to push our hardest.
Awesome.
I feel like we just don't want to let anyone down, so we're going to push to try hard and to keep the legacy going.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I feel as if that we just need to bring energy like we've always had, because this team is based off of that energy a lot, and just work hard.
Good vibes, good vibes. Okay, guys, before we let you go, our favorite segment is thanking somebody that's been a significant impact in our lives. It could be a teacher, parent, coach, sibling, anybody. We'll start with you, Coach.
I got to thank, of course, my wife. Every great coach has, a great rock behind him. She understands the time that we spend on the court in the off season. She was an athlete herself, and of course, I want to thank her for giving us our best gift, our daughter, who is just turned 19 years old last week.
Congratulations, awesome. Yes, our rocks. Go ahead.
Someone that impacted my life in a great amount of time is my mom. She's always been there for me. She's always given me her support, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better.
Mom, getting props. How about you?
I want to thank my father for getting up early to take me to practice and to push me to do my best all the time.
Great.
I want to thank my mom and dad both, because they pushed me as well. And every practice they've taken me to and just given me such good advice.
Yeah, taking you guys to those early morning practices. Everyone sacrifices, right? So, guys, again, we wish you guys the best of luck this season. Chapin Huskies, look for them. 1-5A. These girls are for real, okay? Thank you, guys. Wave bye to the folks at home, and we'll catch you at the next segment of Top Dogs. All right, welcome back. So now we have the 1-6-8 Eastwood Troopers. Last season, there was a three-way tie for the top of the district. There was a seeding games. It's always tough in District 1-6-8. Before we get to all the questions, and thank you for joining us on the show, let us introduce ourselves. Quick, Coach, starting.
Coach Aaron Bajek.
Casey Rubalcaba.
Vanessa Silva.
Mila Shugget.
Okay, guys. So, again, welcome to the show. Before we begin, the crowd's back. Gyms are packed, right? It's going to be the ruckus that you hear, your student body, all your parents yelling, the band's playing, all that stuff. What does it mean to you playing from last year to this year?
Definitely the team bonds we have. It's a lot. We're all really good friends, and it's just a good environment with everyone there.
Fantastic. How about you?
I would say the energy, the environment, the whole gym. I would say it would affect our playing in the game.
I think the way that we work together, and I think having the crowds there and encouraging us and keeping that positive atmosphere and just working together really well is what's helping us this season.
Great. So the next question is for Coach. Coach, you guys just recently competed in the Houston area as well as the Dallas area. How did the Troopers fare against those East Texas teams?
That's a great question. We won against the teams that we should have gone against, and some of the teams that are perennial favorites in the state of Texas, we played extremely well against them, had many compliments from their teams. So overall, it was a great tournament success for us.
And it's always great when teams are battle tested. It seems like it's the rest of Texas and little old El Paso is forgotten all the time. So it's great when you hear that El Paso teams are going out there and competing and placing at these top level tournaments. So how was this next question is also for you, Coach, going into the season in the summer? How was the buy-in's always been there, like I just said. You guys you never rebuild, you always reload. But was everybody checking in? Everybody showing up to team meetings? Was everybody in the weight room? What was the culture like this year coming off of a COVID year?
Yes, sir. In the years past, we've had great success with our kids coming in. And we also had that in this summer. We also had the unfortunate causes of COVID, stranding some of our kids, not able to get back on time. But they also got to play volleyball at a high level in their clubs for a longer time, right up to season start. So that was good for us. And we also got to run a team camp, which everybody bought into. The biggest thing was the fan support that came back. Our fundraising went from $0 in December to close to $30,000 in 3 months. Wow. So it was fantastic.
Awesome. Great. Good to hear. Now, you're in a very competitive district, ladies. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but any predictions? Where do you think the Troopers are going to fare this year?
I think, how we look right now, I think we're on a good track. And I think what we have for the season is going to be good, and we'll do really good.
Taking one game at a time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great mindset. How about you?
I would say definitely it's tough to work with the other teams, but it's definitely good for a team.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we're with each game and each practice we're getting better and we're working better together. So I have good hopes.
We spoke with football coach Julio Lopez, and he didn't want to make any predictions either. He just wanted to take one game at a time, and it seems like that Eastwood mentality always benefits Eastwood, and it's a great mindset to have. So before we let you guys go, my favorite segment is thanking somebody that's impacted your life to get you to where you're at now. It could be a teacher, a sibling, a coach, a wife, parents. So anyone you'd like to thank, Coach, we'll start with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that opportunity. Mine's a threefold. The first one would be, of course, my daughters, Pilar and Sasha. They helped me out tremendously with keeping on track. I'd also like to thank my wife, Irma. She's also an assistant coach tennis at the high school. And then my third grade teacher, Mrs. Green. She knows, now I know.
There you go.
I'd like to thank my dad, for sure, for always pushing me and never letting me give up with anything. He's just always there.
He's always
taking
on
me
you.
everywhere and always being there. My number one
Sacrifices
supporter.
from the parents. Good to hear.
I would thank my dad, my mom, but obviously my sister because she takes me everywhere, like mostly to the practices and games, and she also inspires me a lot.
All right.
I'd like to thank my dad. He's driven me to like every single out of town tournament and practice, and he's always there to comfort me in the losses and cheer for me in the wins.
A lot of miles on those cars and those a lot of those early mornings. Yes, so it seems like family is a very important component to your success. So with that, we thank you all for being on the show. We wish you the best of luck this year. We look for you guys to being out there and competing for another district championship, bringing that back to the Eastwood Trooper High School. And with that said, guys, anything else before we leave? No? Say bye to the folks at home. And that'll do it. And thank you for joining us on this edition of Top Dogs. Welcome to another edition of Top Dogs. I'm your host, PREP1 CEO Jesse Tovar. With us, we have the 1-6A Montwood Rams. Ladies, before we get to all the hard questions, let us introduce ourselves. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Logan Maxwell, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Garcia, and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Samantha Sierra, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Blanca Arciniega, and I'm a senior.
So, ladies, welcome to the show. Like earlier on, we were discussing behind the scenes, COVID, right? Last year was COVID. It all hit us in the gut. We didn't know what to expect. They were canceling our games. They were shifting our games. Sometimes you guys didn't know who your opponents were. So it was a very, very frustrating season. What has changed from last year to this year?
Honestly, it's the audience for sure. I feel like with the audience now and it not only being the team, we're able to have more of a support system with our student sections and everyone being able to go rather than us just cheering for ourselves. It's been a drastic change just due to the fact that we all have more energy on the court as well. It's not like just quiet every game. We have people there to support.
Yes, I definitely believe the fans now being allowed to go to the games is definitely a big improvement from last year, just because I feel like everyone's energy is always up and going, and we're just excited to play this year.
Being back, we have tremendous support from our school and from our parents and our fans, and we're really grateful to have everyone come back this year healthy. It's been amazing having them come and support us.
It's amazing how they're back and they can cheer for us and be there for us in every game. They come and they're loud and they help us be louder.
Yeah, definitely. It's a major component, especially to the home teams. Wasn't it awkward playing in empty arenas, empty stadiums? Now, you guys were out of town last media day. You guys were in Lubbock. You guys were in Dallas. Tell us a little bit about how it was facing those teams in East Texas, because it's always been the rest of Texas and El Paso all by itself out here in the far west. How did you guys fare? What did you guys gain from that experience?
I feel like it was a good opportunity for us to see different levels. We're used to playing the teams in El Paso, so obviously we haven't gone out there and seen the other talent that people have. So it was a real good opportunity, them being taller, of course, having more hitters than defense because we're pretty short. But it was a good experience, and I feel like it really helped us grow as a team because we got to work together more with communicating and being able to see what each player can do for the team.
Yeah, it definitely helped us grow more mentally and stronger on the court. I mean, all of the competition over there is definitely, it's amazing. And just that we had the opportunity to compete was a really good bonus for us.
I believe going out of town prepares us on for the season and helps us push. It also helps us grow together as a team. All experienced players, I mean, we get the best from each club and put us all together and play well. And I think going out of town really prepares us for district.
Yeah, like Sammy said, out of town helped us a lot, especially to get more closer to each other and know how each other play.
So we all know how tough District 1-6A is. Last year there was a one-game playoff to determine the district champion. You don't even have the seeding till the last 2 weeks of the season as far as understanding who's going to be in, who's going to be out. So before we let you guys go, one of my favorite segments is thanking somebody significant in our lives that has impacted us so greatly. So we'll start with you, Lugan. Go ahead.
my family has impacted me significantly because they've just been the biggest support system. My siblings, I have 3 siblings, 2 of them played sports, so they always just push me to be the best I can, and just they'll be outside with me playing volleyball and just trying to motivate me to be a better player and a person.
I would like to thank my parents because they've always been there for me throughout this journey, and they have definitely put in the time that's needed to be put in with me as well.
I would like to thank my parents and my sister. They have definitely pushed me to be the player I am today. They hold me to a very high standard, and without their sacrifices and myself, I wouldn't be the player and person that I am today, so I would really love to thank them.
I would like to thank my parents, especially my little brother, because he looks up to me. He's always like trying to be like, come on, let's go play and everything. And yeah, I love my.
Awesome. Great to hear. I didn't hear any Prep1. What's up with that?
Prep
No, I'm kidding.
Prep one
I'm
too.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Number 1.
No, well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us on the show. Good luck this season and go Rams. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Catch
you.
us on the next edition of Top Dogs. We're signing off. We'll see you soon.